You're gonna fall. I'm trying to keep you from falling. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Hi. If you see a little body pop up right here, my dog is in my lap. She's being very needy today. I feel like she's just super full and sleepy, and so she's being very clingy. So she's in my lap. I usually don't let her go in my lap while I'm on live because she doesn't know how to act right all the time. She's acting fine for now, so we'll see how long this lasts. But if you are just now tuning in and you are new here and you do not know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra. I am a plant-based lifestyle strategist known on here on TikTok as a plant-based naturopath just because that's the life that I live. That's the lifestyle that I live. And so I teach others how to be able to live a plant-based lifestyle and incorporate that. And we are talking about overall transformation for your health by eating away diabetes. As we enter into 2025, this is sadly our last live of 2024, but we are entering into 2025, and that is going to be the year for us talking about insulin resistance and diabetes. We've been talking about it for a couple of months now, and that's where we have shifted to, and that's what we're going to start tailoring not only my products and my services towards, but also tailoring all of our lives towards, because we have so many people that are dealing with insulin resistance and diabetes, and either they don't even know that they have insulin resistance, or they're struggling to figure out a solution, or they're managing it every single day. Hi, how are you? How are you? So welcome in, everybody. We're going to get started. So if you are either suffering or you know somebody that is suffering from diabetes that will benefit from this, if you currently are suffering from insulin resistance or diabetes and you know that you will benefit from this, stay tuned to this live, share it, like it up, do whatever we can that we can reach more and more people, because this is something that we need to share, not only because I have a lot of people of color that are in my lives constantly. So as people of color, we have to really hone in on the issue that we have of the fact that, like, why are we all suffering from the same issue of either developing diabetes or having insulin resistance, and we're not dealing with that problem, so it's becoming more of a crisis. And even government officials that are in these different programs above us that go out with these articles talking about it, and when they talk about the diabetes research or the American Diabetes Association, they even talk about the fact that the people have to make it a crisis in order for it to become a crisis. So when you look at that and you realize the fact that they're not calling a national crisis on it to call attention, but rather they're telling you in these articles that you're not reading, they're telling you in the article that it's up to the people to make it a crisis, and nobody is doing that. Where do you see the issue lying? Do you see it an issue because they keep putting poison in your food, which, yes, that is an issue? Or do you see it an issue that you need to make inside of your home? Because they're telling you right here and right now, they're not going to do anything about it until you start complaining. Just like how I heard this on the news, which is kind of unrelated, but it is directly related if you really think about it. They were talking about yesterday on the news. I don't watch the news, but I just happened to just pass by. How the fact that now they're starting to have officials come out and try to fight against the food programs that they have recommended at school because they're full of heavy metal and toxins. And so they're talking about the fact, since they're full of heavy metals and toxins, how these people are now complaining that their children are being exposed to this, how they're complaining about the school lunches and things like that. And so do you see how the change is starting to happen? All because they want to complain. So do you see how you have this mindset of, if I don't do anything, there's nothing I can do. If I just sit here, it's going to be okay. There's nothing I can do if I try to go out against this. But do you see how it happens that parents are complaining now, and they know that they have to send their kids to school. They know that this is a government sanctioned type of food that they give you, because it literally has a program for people to feed the kids at school. Do you see how now they're like, oh, you don't want to give your kids heavy metals. Oh, you don't want to be feeding your kids red dye. Oh, you don't want your children to be exposed to parasites and toxic meats. All because people are starting to complain about school lunches. When you see the full concept of how things work in our society, you actually pay attention rather than just making it by day, you realize that you do have more power than what you believe in, because you've been so misconstrued and programmed to thinking that you don't have any, when you do have a say-so. You have a say-so with what you put in your body. You have a say-so with what your child puts in their body if you have a child, or your future children. And instead of you actually standing on business when it comes to that and focusing in on the fact that you poison yourself, you make yourself toxic on the inside, you focus on how can I fill my stomach every single day. You focus on how can I fill my family's stomach every single day, and not focusing on using nourishment, fuel to make everybody happy and pleased in your home to make it to the next day. Thank you for liking up the live. I really appreciate it. So it's a critical health issue that is affecting us. Not only diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, insulin resistance, all of these different things are affecting our society at a rapid rates, and it goes deeper than just cancer now being the big issue and how cancer is the most unaliver on our earth. Cancer is about to be ranked up with all of these other different things that we have going on with insulin resistance and diabetes and being overweight alone. So when you really sit there and explore the current state of our world with diabetes in our society, you understand the impact that not only it's having on our bodies, but also you realize the negative outcome that comes with you not using food as your medicine. So when you start to actually use food as your medicine, you'll see the fact that you can transform your health. You can heal from the inside out, and you can start to not only feel better, but look better externally, because everybody's so focused on how they look externally that they don't even realize the fact that they're still toxic on the inside. All these people go running back and forth to the gym, they're running miles, and they think that they're so good, they're so healthy, but they still eat a bunch of toxic crap, regardless if they do it in moderation. You are supposed to take care of yourself in every single aspect, not just one, not just two. You're supposed to eat right, use non-toxic products. You're supposed to get movement inside of your body and help your body move on the inside, because when you're moving externally, you're moving internally. So these are 3 aspects that you all have to hit in every single way, every single day, in some way, shape, or form. I don't work out every single day, but I try to hit at least five times a week. If I'm not working out, which working out for me is getting up and walking. It's me doing some strength training. It's me doing even just as simple as me doing some yoga and some stretches. I don't actually participate in yoga, but I do stretches. So you have to understand that there are little itty bitty things that you should be incorporating in your life that you're not. And this is why you're not seeing the health that you deserve and that you need. You're not seeing the transformation that you would like. Because the current state of our society right now, especially when you're talking about diabetes, approximately 37 million people are dealing with diabetes. That is over 11% of our society that is suffering from diabetes, and it's not a national crisis. Isn't that kind of insane? Over 38 million children and adults have diabetes in the U.S. alone. Over 30 million, over 38 million. The 37 is covering the U.S. population in total. I just realized that. I just realized what I just said. Let me rephrase that. 38 million children and adults, because this is covering just the U.S. population in total. 38 million. 38 million. And this is just the U.S. That's not even covering the entire world. The prevalence of diabetes has gotten so bad and so significant, the fact that it has increased by 18% from the 10% that it was at between 2012 to 2022. Between 2012 and 2022, when it was about 10 to 12%, it's gone all the way up to 18% increase. From around 10 to 12, going all the way up to 18, do you hear the problem? Because what I hear when I see that statistic, what I hear is people are not taking care of their body. People consuming a whole bunch of different sugars, processed sugars. People sitting here dealing with and managing with diabetes and not healing. Because we wouldn't have millions of people dealing with the same problem if we were healing from it. Because we would realize, okay, my body has suffered from this. I see the signs of insulin resistance. Let me go ahead and tackle it. Oh, okay, I see the signs of me being pre-diabetic. Let me tackle it. I have diabetes now and I've been diagnosed, but I don't have to take insulin and manage it for the rest of my life. Let me figure out how I'm going to help myself heal. Not enough people are in this space and in this mindset. And so now we're in this space of people not being able to figure out a solution so they manage for the rest of their life. They believe that it runs in their family, and they tell everybody that's under them in generations that it runs in our family. You better watch out. What runs in your family are the terrible habits. The illness and the disease is not actually running your family, and that's the issue. You are not stuck. You don't have to manage it. If you want to truly start healing, what you first have to start realizing is diabetes, first of all, is not a separate issue. Diabetes is going to affect you with your insulin intake. It's going to affect you eventually. If you don't deal with it, it's going to start leading you to having heart disease. You could have heart disease and then develop diabetes. They go hand in hand. The same thing with how when you develop diabetes, insulin resistance, and you don't do anything about it, you eventually lead yourself to having different types of dementia. Stroke is a sign of dementia. That is a key factor of if you have kidney disease or diabetes and you do nothing about it, but you manage it with prescriptions for the rest of your life, that's what you lead yourself to. Having kidney failure leads yourself to down the path of having a stroke. Leads yourself having some type of dementia, because stroke is dementia. When you have type 2 diabetes, you do nothing about it and you get yourself to type 3, more likely than not, you are more likely to develop Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a sign of dementia. Not only does it affect these different areas of your body internally when it comes to your organs, but it also affects your eyesight. It affects your hearing. You can lose limbs. So why do you keep sitting here thinking that you have to manage something for the rest of your life, which you're not really managing? Because like I said, you can lose your eyesight, you can lose your hearing, you can lose limbs. And it's more likely than not that one of the three things are going to happen to you. Because I know many people in my family who have diabetes and have been affected in some shape or way or form when it comes to their diabetes. Losing their eyesight, losing their hearing, or losing a limb. And so it's not the matter of if it happens, it's a matter of when it happens. Because you're not doing anything differently than when you started and when you developed the diabetes. You're not doing anything differently when you started having signs of insulin resistance. So how do you think you're going to have a different end result when you're doing nothing to help your body have a different result in the end? You're not helping your body replenish itself. You're not helping your body get back to health. Instead, you keep eating the way that led you down this path of illness and disease. It truly makes no sense. And thank you, Allie, for the comment. I saw it. Yes, if you want to know how you are able to heal yourself from that space, I do have a cookbook that is deeper than just a cookbook, but gives you literally the foundation of breaking down exactly how you led yourself to having diabetes and insulin resistance, getting rid of that and understanding the point of insulin resistance, how A1C affects you and your diet culture. And then breaking all of that down, giving you a rainbow plate and understanding how to really establish a rainbow plate and eating a rainbow, and then giving you recipes, and there's a bonus section. When I tell you that book is literally not only going to change your life, but it's going to change the way you view food, truly, just the breakdown part alone is over 50 pages. That's not even including the recipes. So if you are suffering from diabetes, if you're suffering from insulin resistance, if you know anybody that is dealing with those issues, you are able to help them, you're able to help yourself, and don't walk into 2025 doing the same exact thing that you've been doing. A one-stop shop. You don't have to sit here and take insulin every single day. Go back and forth to the doctor and go to your doctor's visits. Take all these medications, because if you are doing that, you're lowering your quality of life. So why would you keep doing the same thing, going down the same path everybody else is following, instead of finding a solution to the problem? Because these are not solutions. These are momentary band-aids that are going to keep continuously not only make you uncomfortable, but hate what is going on in your life. And you know what happens when you constantly live a life that you hate? This is when anxiety starts happening, depression starts happening, you start thinking about suicide. Like all these different things start happening around in your body, in your brain. All your chemistry starts to malfunction, your organs start to malfunction. And can you only imagine when you're already having all these issues internally, which is throwing off your gut, your brain, your organs, and then now you're sitting here literally losing your mind? Can you only imagine what that's going to be like? And now you're sitting here having to manage some type of disease every single day, leading yourself to having Alzheimer's, leading yourself to having heart disease, developing more issues than what you started with, because now you're taking a medication that also causes kidney failure. You're taking insulin not knowing the fact that insulin has pork in it. So now you're literally microdosing pork inside of you every single day. And that's a fact. You can look it up. What's inside of insulin? Google quick. Pork. Why is there pork in insulin? Type 1, did you develop it or were you born with it? Because we're talking about developing issues. Type 1 is a little bit different, but type 1 can be helped as well with food. Everything can be helped with food. That's what people don't understand. Yes, just because your doctor told you it had something to do with the cell and how if you were born with it specifically, how your body is not born to actually establish its own natural insulin and produce that and recognize it, but it's still able to function and to heal itself with food. And I literally have that. If you go look at my landing page for that cookbook, a reference that talks about how you can help deal with type 1 diabetes with food, starting with there. They need more research into it because they're not doing research into it because you know why? That's a profit margin. But they tell you in the same breath of them saying, well, we need to do more research. It's not exactly proven yet. They tell you that from all the studies that they have done, it has significantly improved their type 1 diabetes. Significantly. Not just a little bit, significantly. They can't put in these articles when they say that, oh, we need more research. They can't tell you that it's healing. But if they're telling you that it's significantly improving, then obviously if you continuously do this and you're already improving from the little bit of time that they do this study, if you keep doing it, what's going to happen? So just because your doctor tells you one thing, which is great for you to get a diagnosis, but that does not mean you take that word as bond and then be like, oh, boom, okay, this is what I have to do for the rest of my life. That's the same thing as when your teacher, when you were in school, your teacher would give you, okay, this is how you do this. You break it down. They didn't tell you to take their word as bond and then they said, okay, this is it, end all be all. What did they tell you to do when you went home? Take your book, go home and read your book, study your notes, study your book. Your book is the internet. Your book is the scientific journals. But nobody wants to look into these scientific journals because that's too much reading. That's too much work. But in reality, it's really not. Especially with all the things that we have going on with our systems, with the computers and our phones and everything. It is not hard for you to hit, what is it, Shift Control F? Diabetes healing. Answer. All these different things. You have an endless amount of information. And so when I tell people my prices are my prices, please don't come looking for me. Don't come asking me for free advice. Don't ask me for free help because I give you everything that you need for you to be able to start with the free content that I give you on here on TikTok, a long form on YouTube because I post all my lives on YouTube. But if you want to learn the strategy, you want to learn step by step, you want to actually have accountability and support through this, and you don't have to do hours of research like I do, which I don't mind because I do this, then you will tap into something that I have because you don't do it for yourself for the free ski stuff that you get. So I guarantee if you pay $35 for this cookbook, you're going to use it. I guarantee if you pay $55 or $60 for my cleansing guide, you'll use it. You tap into that program. That is a heavy investment, but it's an investment in your health. And not only an investment in your health, but you literally get free access to me. Well, not free, but you get unlimited access to me during that program that is going to give you step by step how to live a plant-based lifestyle and sustain it. And that's deeper than just food. That is products as well and medication. So you no longer have to take actual medications, pharmaceuticals, but you start learning how to make your own natural medicine. On top of making plant-based meals, on top of you sitting there being able to make your own non-toxic products, body wash, mouthwash, toothpaste, you would be able to make your own shampoo, be able to make your own laundry detergent, your own cleaning spray. I don't know what's called. I was about to say detergent, but that's not the right word that I'm looking for. Thanks for the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for liking up the live. I'm trying my best to heal. I'm on herbal and juice fast protocol. That's absolutely amazing. How are you doing? How are you doing? Thanks for the follows. He said beta cell. Yes. How are you doing on that? Okay, let's see what. Look, I got on a tangent, but like at the same time was on the right key, on the point. When you are sitting here managing diabetes, you're not realizing the healthcare costs and how they're increasing. You might feel it in that moment, but you're not realizing, looking at it as a total. Because let's say that, like, for instance, how they had, I think during 2020, 2021-ish, they had that shortage of insulin. So then they started to hoard it and mark the price up. And then the government had to come out and be like, oh no, you can't do that. Give them their insulin. I couldn't think of the word. Goodness, I'm sorry, y'all. And so then they made them backtrack. But can you only imagine when the 2030 agenda hits, because they're literally projecting by 2030 that they're going to make $1 trillion profit off of people being overweight and diabetic, that they're going to start raising the price. They're going to start making it more less accessible and more harder to get, because now all of a sudden they're going to be like, you know what, it's not covered in your basic insurance package anymore. You have to be on a premium package, and if you're not on the premium package, we can't cover your insulin. You have to pay out of pocket. So now you're sitting there paying over $150, $200 for a week's worth of supply, and you're sitting there fighting back and forth trying to get some coverage, trying to figure out how you got here. The sun is beaming, y'all. Hold on. And you can't figure out a solution. But the solution was, in fact, not the insulin itself, but the solution was the fact that you had to change your habits, change your ways. Going through this, I already probably constipated as well as other health issues I know. You said that you are doing a juice fast. Are you still constipated, or you were constipated beforehand? Because if you're drinking straight juices, you should not be dealing with constipation. Like, what kind of juices are you drinking also? Fresh squeezed, or you're going to the grocery store and getting some juicy juice? Like, what kind of juices are we, what kind of juices are we drinking? I just can't even imagine. But at the same time, I have to think about there's other juices, because I know 100% juice. But not a lot of people understand 100% juice not from concentrate. Do you have a juicer? Yeah, it was constipated before. Yes. Okay. So you were saying before. I got you. Okay. Yes. If you are doing a fast and you're doing a juice fast, that's absolutely amazing. And combining it with the herbs once you're already doing the juice fast that's the way to go. Because I have so many people, this sun, it literally moved when I closed it. That is crazy. But literally, I have so many people that come to me. I might have to just move. Hold on. I have so many people that come to me asking about herbal remedies and things like that. And when I bring up the food situation, either I get no response. Oh, I didn't mean to send an invite. Oh my God, what did I do? I don't know what I just clicked. Y'all. But if something happens in a second, we're gonna have to live with it. But I don't know what just happened. But did I just hit something? I don't know what I hit. It likes me a lot. I guess it does, and that's great, but I needed to stay out of the view. But I don't know what I just hit. I don't. So somebody pops up, I invited them on accident. But we have to get to the fact that, like, people want all these quick, fast solutions, and I tell people all the time, especially when they're coming in my lives and they're asking me for a herb really quickly, because I'm on live talking about holistic healing and natural health. If you're not eating the way that you need to be, I am not going to recommend you a herb. And when I say that, people sit there and they're like, there are plenty of herbalists on this app that sell you herbs, they sell you gummies, they sell you all this stuff. Go find them. I am not on here promoting an herb. I'm not promoting a gummy. I'm not on here selling you some type of herbal thing. Stop, or I'm going to put you down. I'm not doing none of that. I'm teaching you how to heal externally, internally, both. Internally first, then externally. They're teaching you how to manage, because that's the same thing as you take a prescription. If you're not eating correctly and you're sitting here taking an herbal supplement, I'm gonna let you know now, you're wasting your time and your money. If you're taking any supplement and you're not eating correctly, you're wasting your time and your money. If you're having to manage yourself with any supplement because you're iron deficient, you need fish oil or whatever else that they're telling you, I'm letting you know you are malnourished when it comes to vitamins and minerals, and you are not doing yourself a service, but rather a disservice, and you're wasting your time and your money. I was once, before I went plant-based, and I'm not saying this just out of the side of my neck, I was taking iron, I was taking magnesium, I had started taking fish oil at one point, I was starting to take all these different vitamins, I was taking a 1-a-day gummy. But within the first 3 months of me being plant-based, I sat there and was like, I don't even need this anymore. Like, no longer do I don't suffer from any, because I was borderline anemic. I don't suffer from any iron deficiencies. I wasn't dealing with the lack of energy. I wasn't having to take all of these. And you know why? Because I was eating to actually fuel my body. I wasn't sitting here just filling my stomach and hoping to make it to the next day and just consuming any kind of way and thinking that this is what I have to eat, because at the end of the day, as long as I'm getting my proteins from meat and as long as I'm getting my dairy in, because that concept that we have of you have to have meat for protein, you have to have meat for your healthy fats, even though that's not a healthy fat, and you have to have your dairy in order for you to have strong bones and to make it through the day. That concept has left us here at society of what we're looking like right now. Walking outside and counting 1, 2, 3 people, out of every 3 people, one of them is diabetic. Counting out of every 3 people, one of them is diabetic or insulin resistant. That's a problem. And I had somebody that was trying to argue with me and prove a point that made absolutely no sense about the fact that diabetes is not sugar, affected by sugar, or diabetes is not caused by sugar, but it's caused by being overweight. But what causes you to be overweight? Unhealthy fats, a bunch of sugar, and a bunch of sodium. So how does that not cause diabetes? That's why I was like, I don't argue with people. I literally just read the comment, and either you get blocked or I'll give you the facts. And if you want to argue anymore, because I'll send you the article. If you don't want to read it and you want to argue, I'll block you. It's poor beforehand. It's kind of complicated. Yeah, if you were having poor health beforehand and you were constipated, that is a direct sign of your health right there. If you are a woman, menstrual cycle, and the way you go to the bathroom. For men, the way they go to the bathroom. I don't know other things because I'm not a man exactly, but for one, for sure, men and women, it's going to the bathroom. If you were eating, you should be going to the bathroom. I don't know how else to say it. If you were eating, you should be going to the bathroom. Not saying the smallest little itty bitty crumb of a cracker or two should be making you go to the bathroom, but if you were eating a meal, if you're eating a good portion snack, you should be going to the bathroom. When it goes in, it should be coming out. Because if it's not, where is it going? Because it's not disintegrating inside of your body. It's not just boom, poof, gone. More like enough, you're eating, you're drinking something. So it should be flushing you. But if it's not flushing you, that's the key factor in right there to let you know you're not getting hydration. If it's not flushing you, you're not getting hydrated. That's why people sit there and they talk about it. I think it's so insane that, which I know we're got off the topic of diabetes and we'll get back on that, but it's so insane to me that we give these children Pedialyte and Ensures and all these different things because they're constipated or their tummy's upset. But you don't realize the fact that the reason why they're constipated and their tummy's upset was because they weren't getting cellular hydration. It frustrates me to no end because we get all of these different little cute marketing thingies that they throw at you, and we think that this is our solution when it's not. This is not your solution. I was never constipated, and I may not be the healthiest, but just went downhill after that experience. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Okay, let's get back on the topic of, so understanding insulin resistance and its effects, right? So what is insulin resistance exactly, and breaking that down? Insulin resistance occurs when your cells in your muscles, in your fat, in your liver stop responding to your insulin. Because when you sit there and you have the insulin working and functioning the way that it should be, it's using the glucose from the sugar to convert into energy. But when this is not happening because you are insulin resistant now, or you started to form insulin resistance, now your body cannot convert the glucose into energy because there is no glucose inside of the sugar that it can use. That's the difference between natural sugar and processed sugar. When you have all this terrible, crappy processed sugar flowing through your body, it doesn't know what to do with that because you know why? It has no nutritional value. It has no value. And so instead, it stores it inside of your body as a toxin. This is the reason why you become overweight when you eat all these foods, because then it stores inside of your fat cells and your body cannot use it, but it stores it there saying, well, one day we might be starving and one day I might be able to use this. This is why it's so effective for you to fast on the regular. Because when you fast on the regular, your body uses those fat cells at a certain point because it says, oh, we don't need this right now, so I'm going to start breaking this down. And so then it starts to use that fat and to convert it into energy. That's the reason why fasting is so effective. But when you're not in the right space to fast, when you are not in the right space to actually be able to heal yourself internally because you fill yourself up with so much toxic crap, when you are overly constipated because you eat a bunch of crap all the time and you have these different issues when it comes to you having an illness or a disease going on inside of your body has to work harder during your fast. So that little 24 hours of you doing a fast is not going to work for you. Because a lot of people talk about how they either do a cleanse for a week or they do a fast and it didn't work, or they go plant-based and it didn't work for a week or two or whatever they did because they wanted a quick fix. They wanted something quick. And so when they sit there and complain, I'm like, okay, what did you eat beforehand? Like, what were you eating? And then you tell me like, oh, I used to eat this. Like, I don't eat that much fast food, but I do eat chicken. I eat this. Every now and then I might go out and eat, and I eat this. And I'm like, okay, but do you not see the pattern of you fill yourself up with meat, which is full of parasites, as well as the fact you have parasites inside of your body feeding off of the sugar that you eat. You also have these different issues with you consuming dairy. And instead of you realizing that you need to set yourself up for success before the fast, so you should be eating correctly, you should be eating more fruits and vegetables before you go on a fast. You should be accepting the fact that, okay, I'm going to be fasting for a couple of days. I need to eat a good heavy meal that is not going to make me feel heavy, but I'm not a heavy meal, but a full meal. That's something of a full meal that is not going to make me feel heavy and bloated, but it's going to fill my body up to allow me to sustain, then last longer. So then when I do feel hungry, a little bit of water, me drinking a glass of water is going to keep me going. But instead y'all think, okay, I'm going to eat all this crap and then tomorrow I'm going to fast and I'm going to feel great and I'm going to be able to do this. How? How could you possibly? It's not. It's insanity to think that like your body's going to be able to give back to you during a time that it's literally using its insides to break down what's not needed and to fight off all the issues that you have going on. And now you're sitting there thinking that your body should be giving back to you when you haven't given it anything to set itself up. You have to prepare yourself within a fast, because it's like if you don't prepare yourself before a fast, if you're somebody who's like me especially, thinking of like fasting is something that like even as often as I do it, it's a dread. Like I've intermittent fast every day, but a full fast like yesterday, the day before, yesterday was the end of my fast, but I did a full 24-hour fast, and then I did another like my regular intermittent fasting like a normal day yesterday. And so that was over 24 hours. I think it was at least 38 hours of me fasting, okay? I wouldn't have been able to do that without me preparing myself to be like, okay, I know that I'm going to fast. Let me eat something good beforehand that is going to make me have energy, fuel, so I won't get a headache. Because y'all get a headache because you spoil yourself every single day. Like, I talked about this in my last live, and it really needs to be said. Y'all spoil yourselves every single day, and that's the reason why you get these headaches. That's the reason why you're hangry. Y'all love to talk about the fact that like, oh, I'm just hangry, oh, I'm getting a headache because I need to eat and all this different stuff. How can people fast for days, weeks, months? Because people do water fasts for months and they don't unalive, they're not hangry, they're not getting headaches, they're not dealing with all this different stuff. And you know why? Because beforehand they didn't have a bunch of crap inside of their body that their body is going to be fighting off. And then they also weren't sitting there poisoning themselves, throwing off their chemical balance. Because that's the difference between somebody who has their chemical balance thrown off, because now you have no discerning thought when you're hungry, versus somebody who understands that yes, hunger, it happens, but it's also a momentary feeling. All feelings are momentary, they're fleeting. Feelings happen, they come and they go. Hunger comes and goes. Not saying when you're actually hungry, but that feeling of hunger, that emotional hunger, that thought of, oh, I haven't eaten today, I really just need to eat something. But your stomach hasn't growled, it ain't told you nothing. Now, it's not good for you to just sit out here and not eat. But the realization of the fact that sometimes you don't need to. Like sometimes your body is telling you, we're good. And y'all aren't realizing that because you're so focused on the fact that you have to fill every single day. I gotta fill my body. I gotta fill my stomach. I gotta fill my kids. And don't let me get onto that topic, because that's really insane that like some of y'all don't realize that sometimes kids have to fast too. Sometimes y'all's kids need to fast. It's not that they need to go get a flu shot. They don't need a little hokey pokey. Your children need to fast. Your kid comes home with a stomach bug, you don't need to fill them up with all this chicken noodle soup. They need to fast. Make them some herbal tea. Y'all are too busy trying to fill rather than realizing the fact that the issue is not filling. It's the fact that you don't fast enough, as well as the fact that you don't incorporate any healthy habits when it comes to the foods that you consume. And so here we are, still doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Thanks for the 1.3K likes, guys. I really appreciate it. It's insanity that we keep doing the same exact thing but expecting a different result. It's not possible. And you see it's not possible, because here we are as a society, been doing the same thing for what? I don't know how many decades, at least 3 decades of doing the same exact thing, getting programmed into this standard of you have to have cow's milk, you have to eat meat. And now you see the way the society is suffering when it comes to our health alone, our mental health. Because oh my god, let's break that down, because I talk about this, and like I said, I'm not knocking any mental health. What I'm talking about, the fact that a lot of y'all are sitting out here taking prescriptions and depending on prescriptions when a lot of y'all don't need it, because in reality the reason why you're so crazy is because you're malnourished. You're losing your mind because you're malnourished. You walk around and you see all these young people and you're thinking how crazy they are. It's because you're malnourished. They're malnourished. Because a lot of y'all are stressed, yes, but a lot of the stress is coming from the fact that you don't eat correctly. And it's a hard thing to swallow, of the fact that you've been doing this to yourself, but it's truth. Because we all go through hard times. We all have struggles. But it's the matter of, do you have the discerning thought to be able to pull yourself out of that space? And if you don't, you need to start looking at what you do to lead yourself up to this. How did you eat beforehand before you got to this space? Hi, how are you? Because even if, let's say, you go through the most crucial time of your life, a crisis. Let's say something really just happens and everything is going bad. But if you were already beforehand, already full of parasites, already feeling like you were overweight or weight fluctuation, or you're malnourished, so you're losing a whole bunch of weight, if you're already dealing with a whole bunch of issues internally because you have IBS, you have fibroids, you have cysts going on, and then life hits you too, how are you not going to lose your mind? But if you are already taking care of yourself and you have something hard happen, you have life hit you hard, at least you have one aspect together, so you're not having to completely restart and rebuild yourself, because you're not only taking care of yourself, but now you're trying to get back to the space that you were beforehand. If you weren't having any stability beforehand, where are you getting back to? Where are you going? There was nowhere for you to go. So that's the reason why you literally lose your mind. That's literally why you feel like, oh my god, I'm having a panic attack. Because you have nowhere else to go, because you have no baseline of foundation of health. Because even if you started to not only take care of yourself with food, but you started to actually establish healthier habits of de-stressing, because a lot of y'all emotionally eat. I was an emotional eater beforehand. A lot of y'all emotionally eat, and that's the reason why you have led yourself to insulin resistance. Y'all will realize the fact that, okay, my emotions aren't exactly tied to food. So next time that I feel bad, you know what I need to do? Do a de-stressing habit. Let me go color. Let me go on a walk for a minute. Let me just sit here and write down my thoughts. But y'all think, okay, I had a hard day. You had a hard day at school. Here's some cookies. You had a really, really hard day. Go get this piece of cake and sit down and watch it in front of TV. Get this whole pint of ice cream and just sit here in front of your TV and eat it. Disassociate while you eat. And then you look and you realize you ate the whole roll of Oreos, you ate the whole pint of ice cream, and you're looking around like, oh my God, how did I do it? There was a scientific study, I think done so long ago, that talked about the fact that, like, when you sit in front of a technology, when you eat, this was the whole crisis of they were talking about how families don't eat with each other anymore and all this different stuff, which I don't care about that. It's the fact that they were talking about, and they had true tea on this. When you sit in front of the TV and you eat, you don't realize how much you're consuming unless you sit and you pause and you take a breath. Because when you're sitting at a table and you're eating at a formal setting, you take a breath, you pause, you talk sometimes. You actually have the space to manage what you're eating, because you're not focused on anything else but what is happening at the table. But when you're watching it, you're sitting here and you're eating in front of your TV. Not only are you sitting there, you're focused in on the story, you have a full plate of food, so now you're sitting here scarfing that down, and then you look up and you're sitting there like, man, I'm so hungry, because your brain didn't catch up to your stomach. Your brain didn't catch up to your stomach. Too many people don't realize that. And so you sit here and you try to figure out, why in the world am I insulin resistant? How am I dealing with all these issues? And you know what? When you're putting your body, thank you for this gift, I really appreciate it. When you're putting your body into this distressed state, do you realize what you're doing to your organs? Because when you are sitting here trying to consume every day and you're not consciously consuming, your pancreas is trying to compensate for all the stress that you were putting on it. So now your pancreas is making more insulin, and over time this leads you to elevated blood glucose levels. So then this is going to lead you to having type 2 diabetes. Your kidneys are the filter for your blood. Do you realize when you're eating processed sugars, terrible processed sugars, that it literally coats? This is the reason why when people have diabetes, they lose their hearing, their eyesight. It coats your blood cells as well. So this is the reason why they lose limbs. That's the reason why they go blind, because it coats their eyes. It literally coats your retina. It coats your ears. It coats your eardrums. It coats your blood cells. And they're talking about how the fact that people are having to have for like Alzheimer's, and they do different scans and things like that, how they're starting to see the fact that it's passing their blood-brain barrier. So that means sugar is inside of their brain. They're seeing parasites pass blood-brain barriers now as well. Parasites feed off of toxins. And what is a toxin? Terrible processed sugar. There was a doctor, a brain surgeon to be specific, who was doing surgery on someone who had a literal, she said it was like a very long parasite that was attached to their brain, because they had a tumor on their brain, and she pulled it out not knowing what it was, because she was like, what is this foreign thing? And the parasite had passed the blood-brain barrier and was feeding off of the tumor inside of their brain. How is that not scary? Because I know as soon as she said that, and I eat right, and that scared me. So I can only imagine being a meat eater, a dairy eater, and sitting there and not being worried about a parasite being attached to your brain. It's the videos on TikTok. I don't know exactly what the video was called, but I have seen it surface a couple times, and I really want to. I need to go watch the full thing. I haven't watched it yet, because that was enough for me. Like, I didn't even need to watch the full thing to be like, that was enough. That was a brain surgeon talking about the scarring stories of what she has gone through, and that was one of them. So not only are you dealing with pancreas dysfunction, because now it's producing way too much insulin, right? But now your liver is sitting here increasing the glucose production. The increased glucose production is affecting your liver to the point where it's going to start having your blood sugar spike. If your body's craving sugar, that means you're addicted to it. That's what that means. You're addicted. You have a sugar addiction. Your kidneys, from that high blood sugar, goodness, I keep saying blood pressure, the high blood sugar, your kidneys are now sitting there being damaged, because they're trying to filter. That is your filtration system, and they're working overtime to filter. And if you are dealing with sugar cravings and you have a sugar addiction, I can help you be able to get rid of that. In June, I literally set myself up all throughout May. June, cut out all sugar, even natural sugar. I had no sugar. Besides the sugar from fruits. But I didn't even add honey, agave, anything else. All I had was sugar from fruits. And my skin has cleared up so much. I have a little bit of like acne spots that show up when I lose my summer tan, but my skin has cleared up so much. I had really dark, like all of these were really dark beforehand. Now they're pretty light. This side, I had the same thing going on. This one is kind of new, but I had the same thing going on up here. All of that is gone. All of that is gone. And it's because I got rid of all of that toxic sugar that I was addicted to. That's the reason why literally my body was craving sugar every single day. And the only time that I started craving sugar again was when I started to expose myself to it. Even the first time that I ate sugar again, my body wasn't like, ooh, we got to eat sugar every single day. It was after a week of me just constantly eating sugar again that my body was like, oh, okay, we're doing this again. And so it really is the actions that you have towards the foods that you eat. What happens when you just stop cold turkey? You'll be fine within a couple of weeks. It's not going to unalive you. Sugar is not a necessity. That's what people sit there and we think about desserts as a necessity. Desserts aren't a necessity. Fruits and vegetables are a necessity. Legumes, nuts, those are a necessity because they give you all the nutrients that you need. Sugar is not a necessity. Processed sugar is not a necessity. You'll be hangry in an aspect. You're going to be upset for that week, the week and a half, probably that first week. Because I think after the first week, you'll be fine. You'll still have a little bit of cravings. But that first week is going to be hard if you're quitting cold turkey. If you want to be able to simplify the process for yourself, DM me and we can talk about it and we can really hone in on that. Because like I said, I worked my way up to it all throughout May, but I simplified the process for myself. If you are ready to quit cold turkey, we can make it a painful experience for you if that's something that you are dealing with. But a lot of you are not realizing that not only like from the habits that you have from you not being able to distress properly, but also the fact that you eat emotionally is raising your cortisol levels. The things that you do raises your cortisol levels. From the foods that you eat, the products that you use, the habits that you have when it comes to you living your life daily, all raise your cortisol levels if you do not deal with them properly. Hi. Hi from Virginia. Hello, hello. And so chronic stress elevates your cortisol. The chronic stress comes from you eating a bunch of foods that literally are toxic to your body, putting a bunch of parasites inside of your body that don't need to be there. Thanks to the follows and the likes, guys. And which is going to impair your insulin secretion. This is going to cause issues with your insulin, and it's going to increase your glucose production. And increasing it instead of keeping it at its normal level is going to cause your body not to be able to convert it into energy. And so then it's going to cause you to eventually having insulin resistance. And what happens when you have insulin resistance and you don't deal with it? Now you are having type 2 diabetes symptoms. Now you're pre-diabetic. Now you have diabetes. You have to start dealing with the issue at hand and getting to the root cause of the problem. And in that ebook that I literally have, it's an e-cookbook. It's linked in my bio. That's on pre-sale today, but tomorrow it won't be on pre-sale anymore. It won't be that price anymore. It's going to break down self-evaluation for you to deal with those cortisol levels and lower those down, dealing with insulin resistance, dealing with your A1C, helping you be able to manage that, and understanding diet culture and breaking all of those down so then you can start healing from the inside out, and learning how to do that also with your cookbook ingredients. If you don't want to be up here, I will put you down. Do you want to get down? I told y'all she's gonna start acting up. That's why I'm gonna put her up here. She acts fine for the first little half, and then after a certain amount of time, she wants to start acting like she doesn't want to be up here anymore. But when I tell her to put her, I'll put her down. She doesn't want to go anywhere. Well, I said she just wants to take a nap. She's been a big baby. That's a lack of nutrition. That's a lack of nutrition. The roll. Let me see. I lost my point. Hold on. I'm looking for my point, y'all. You know, I gotta have my points, because then I'll get off of on a tangent. Get down, because I'm not playing this game with you. You want to get down, girl. Get down. No. And then she gonna lay back on me like I don't want to get down, ma'am. I'm not doing this with you. You have one more time. You got one more time. If you don't want to be up here, don't be up here. So, our SAD diet. Let's talk about that. The Standard American Diet, aka break it down in the acronym SAD. S-A-D. Niecy Poo. Here she is. Always nosy. Always come get your friend. Like, come get her. So, highly processed foods, sugary foods, and unhealthy fat. That is the Standard American Diet. That's what we do. That's just how we are. Next is the follow. Come get her. It contributes to obesity, hormone disruption, different issues when it comes to your gut. And we know this because what are we dealing with right now as a society? IBS is running rampant. All hormones are thrown off, men and women. We're dealing with all these different issues with being overweight, weight fluctuation, obesity. All because we are following this Standard American Diet. And when you put the acronym together and break it down, SAD. We're sad. Our society's sad. They're struggling. And we keep eating this way, expecting a different result. You follow the food pyramid, you follow the My Plate. These are the ways for you to be healthy, right? These are regulations that they tell us this is what you do for you to be healthy and take care of your kids and take care of your family. We do this and we're still ill. They revamped it and we're still ill. So when are you going to step back and realize that this is not the way that you're supposed to be consuming? And this whole concept that they have thrown at you is programming to keep them profiting off of you not knowing and profiting off of you being sick. Because the education is there, like I said. It's the matter of, do you want to educate yourself in the space? Because I give you plenty of free content here on TikTok and on YouTube. Or do you just want to keep doing the same thing, going down the same path? And following down that same path, and then teaching your children, if you have any, or your future children the same. Because I don't fear for the future for my kids and myself, because I know how to take care of myself, because I follow the Most High in the way that He wants us to live, because we've gotten so far away from that people want to argue about the fact that they should have meat every day, they should be eating the sugar, they should be consuming cow's milk. But then it's like, scripturally, y'all are gluttons. Not only are you gluttons, you're not even supposed to be having cow milk, you're not even supposed to be having dairy, but y'all want to argue down. Like, it's really insane. And it don't say nothing about this sugar that you're so addicted to. Argue down that it says in scripture that y'all are legally allowed to eat this meat now because it's been sanctified. Yehoshua HaMashiach came back and passed away, and now we'll be able to eat this meat. But when you look all throughout the Bible, even when they were actually eating meat, what time were they eating meat? Sacrifice, celebration. The celebration was holidays. The sacrifices when they were getting themselves cleansed during a cleansing time. Y'all don't cleanse. We don't have to sacrifice anymore. But y'all don't cleanse. Y'all celebrate the wrong holidays. And y'all eat meat 24/7, all day, every day. They were eating it maybe a couple times a year, like every couple of months. And the animals weren't tampered with. They were going and hunting. They were raising their own animals. They weren't just sitting here going to the farmer's market and, oh, boom, I'm getting meat. If they were actually consuming some meat, it was raised in their community. And by community, I don't mean you sitting here having a cul-de-sac full of thousands of people. I mean the community of like 10 homes in one area, and they have acres between each other. And they know that so-and-so over here is not giving me a GMO animal. But y'all know nothing about the meat that you consume. You don't even realize the fact that they are legally allowed to give you GMOs in your fast food. And for people who don't know, GMO is genetically modified. So they literally have tampered with the food. And you want to argue that it's okay for you to eat this. And I'm going to get on the vegans on this one too. The vegans want to sit here and argue about the fact that it's okay for them to eat this Beyond Meat and this Impossible Meat because you're not supposed to eat it every single day. But it's okay for you to eat it. You a lie. I had somebody say that to me, and they were just like, well, you're not supposed to consume it every single day, because I was talking about the fact that y'all care more about an animal's health than you do your own. You want the animal to live, but you don't care that you're unaliving yourself with this. And you know what they had to say? Well, you're not supposed to eat it every single day. You're still not addressing the fact that you're poisoning yourself. Like, it doesn't matter when you eat it, today, tomorrow, 3 days from now, a week from now, you're still poisoning yourself with toxic seed oils, literally genetically modified food. And then you also have all this different soy and all these different additives in it. And you sit here and want to argue for an animal's life, and you don't even care what you're putting inside of your own body. I don't want to hear it. Y'all are so happy and clapping that now they have Impossible Meat and Beyond Burgers and all these different meats, and McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, and all these different places are now getting non-meat alternatives. Y'all ain't about to stress me out. In 2025, y'all ain't about to stress me out. That's why I said I don't argue. I just block. They're blocking, running me, are best friends. I'm not about to argue. 2025 is my year where I promise I'm unbothered. I'm not here unless you are here to change. If you are here in the space of change and you need help and support, I am here for you. But if you are setting your ways, you are setting your ways. Stay there. Stay where you are. Stay ill. Stay sick. Stay doing the same thing. You're not about to stress me out. Because if y'all don't know, according to the calendar that we go by, but the actual Hebrew calendar, the spiritual calendar we're supposed to be going by, it's a number 9 year. Number 9 is the year of judgment. Number 9 is the year of judgment. I have not said this on this platform because they tried to take my live access a couple of weeks ago because they were trying to play with me, but we are hitting a new year, and I'm going to say it. It's a number 9 year. Number 9 means judgment in biblical terms. And so a lot of y'all are not prepared for a number 9 year. A lot of y'all are not prepared for 2025. A lot of y'all are not prepared for 2025's aftermath. Because 2025's aftermath is going to be that 2030 agenda. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to look it up. So when I say that y'all are lacking knowledge, y'all are lacking nutrition, y'all are lacking stability, I mean that. Y'all are lacking the foundation that you need for this number 9 year. You're constantly consuming, you're constantly doing things that poison yourself, and you're never transforming your habits so that you start new habits to help you heal. So where do you expect yourself to go? The hospital. Like, where else do you go? If you know that you broke your leg and you don't ever go get them to fix it, what's going to happen? You're going to lose your leg. And at some point, if you don't lose your leg, now you're going to lose your life because you didn't do anything about the broken leg. So why in the world do you think if your body can heal an entire bone, that your body can't heal from a disease or an illness? If you know that you have a 6-month recovery period for a bone, why do you not believe that your body can heal itself from diabetes, from heart disease, high blood pressure? It makes no sense how we function as a person when it comes to not seeing the full connection. And that's what I'm here to show you, making a full connection of understanding. Hi, Tyrion, long time. It makes no sense to me. You think that your internal bones, you break a bone and your teeth can't heal. Like let's really sit there and think about this. They tell you that your teeth cannot heal themselves from a cavity, but your bones can heal themselves. If you break a toe, you break a finger, you break a leg, you break an arm, but your teeth can't heal from a cavity? They can't remineralize themselves? You can't build back enamel? I'm going to say it one more time for the people that didn't hear me. You can break a leg. You can break a bone. You can break your jaw. You can literally break bones in your neck. You can break your back. You can break your foot. But you can't heal the bones inside of your mouth, which are your teeth. I'm telling you, it's a scam. If y'all don't hear the scam, I can't help you. If you can't hear the scam, I can't help you. This is not for you. Transforming your health starts with your mindset. And then once you get in the right mindset of really realizing the fact that you have been scammed, you'll start to realize that the benefits of plant-based eating, understanding how you can actually gain the health that you deserve through food. Because just like how these people come out here and they talk about how the fact that, oh, they did a fruit fast for a couple of months and they did not do chemo, they didn't do radiation, and they healed themselves from cancer, should be a key and clue in. But y'all don't listen to that because you know what you hear? I can't eat any food for 3 months. I can't eat a Big Mac for 3 months. I can't do it. I'm going to pass away. I can't have sugar for 3 months unless it's just some fruits. You hear lack. You know what I hear in that moment? You healed yourself. You cleansed yourself. You gave yourself all the clarity that you needed to keep doing this for the rest of your life. You don't have to eat fruits every single day, all day for the rest of your life. But now that you no longer have to suffer from the diseases that you have had going on beforehand, now you can start actually using food as your medicine and cooking meals again that don't poison you and take you down the same path. So if you want to start cooking plant-based meals for yourself, if you want to start actually comprehending how to do this and living a plant-based lifestyle and actually understanding what is going on inside of your body and breaking it down and actually feeling a difference, then you will tap into my cookbook. I literally have 2 different cookbooks. One is going on sale tomorrow, so I'm pre-sale still. And I also have my beginner guide cookbook that is linked to my bio. There's a price difference for a reason. The other one is Eating Away Diabetes. It's literally showing you how to eat away diabetes. The other one is a beginner guide. It is friendly for all types, but the beginner guide is allowing you to be able to see how easy it is for you to cook plant-based meals. And they're such basic meals. These are the ones that I still cook to this day because not only are they easy to prep and to keep, but they're also easy for you to be able to enjoy a plant-based meal in the beginning and like it and not have to worry about spending hours in the kitchen struggling. And if you are somebody who is busy, these are perfect for you because, like I said, you can prep. I'm in the position where I'm opting out of radiation to do plant-based or fruits. A lot of people have gone that way and still go that way. And I'm telling you, you don't have to do radiation, chemo, all these different things. I wish the people in my life that I have lost to cancer and other illnesses and issues would have listened to that. Because when you bring that up to people who are already on medication, that are already dealing with a number of issues, they love to argue down about the fact that they have to have their prescription. They're going to unalive without their medication, and they can't do it without their doctor because their doctor is helping them heal. But their doctor is not helping them heal because look at where they are. You're still in their office. And it's outside of just a regular checkup. Because like I said, I don't ever tell you not to go get a checkup. But when you are sitting there having to go back and forth to the doctor for this and that and X, Y, and Z outside of a checkup. Exactly. That's the difference. The reason why they call you a patient is because they can't they can't make it sound good to call you a customer, but that's what you are. You're a customer. You're not a patient. You're a customer. Y'all take that patient word and you're like, oh, my doctor cares for me because I'm their patient. No. You're a customer. Just like when you go into Walmarts and they treat you like crap. The only difference is your doctor's paid better, so they don't throw everything on you, but they're tired. A lot of y'all's doctors are tired. And I had I want to say it was one of my past lives. I had a doctor that came in here that was talking about, I work in the medical industry. She's speaking some actual facts. A nurse. I think it was a nurse. That's your nurses talking. That's your nurses telling you. They're tired. They're sick of having to work these long shifts. They're tired. 2020 took a lot of them out. 2020 had a lot of them down bad. I had a family member that was working. She got put in the vid ward during 2020. And they were only in her hospital. I'm not talking about all, but in her hospital, they were only putting people of color in there. And they love to say that that's because, oh, especially women are so catering and cared for. And if we want it to be done, then we put a woman in that space because we know they're going to get it done. But y'all don't really key into the fact that they don't care about you. That should be the first thing in your head. They don't care about you. Second of all, boom, in your head, you should be thinking, instead of them realizing the fact that, okay, if you know that I'm going to get it done, then I should be getting compensation for this. I should be getting X, Y, and Z. They're sitting there giving you a clap of congratulations in a cup, a mug, a pen. That's what they give y'all for y'all's dedications to these companies. That's what they give y'all. Every nurse I know is broken down, mentally, physically, overworked, period. Exactly. I used to work at it's a very prestigious known college/hospital. I'm telling you, they were giving bonus incentives. I worked at the university side and not the hospital side. They were giving incentives for people. I think it was a higher incentive for you to just come in off base. But if you were switching, they were giving incentives for us at the university to switch over to the hospital side. And I think it was about a $3,000 bonus or something like that. But you had to stay 3 months. One girl switched over because she was tired of the management that we were under and she was sick of all the stuff that was going on. A whole bunch of different things happened. A whole bunch of people quit. Their retention rate is ridiculous. She went over there and was talking about how the $3,000 made a whole lot of sense. And a lot of people don't realize that these companies give you incentives to start, which this is completely all basis of what we're talking about, but it's the end of the year, y'all. We got a lot to talk about. They give you these bonuses, these sign-ons as incentives to make you feel like, oh, I'm getting what I needed. Like, this is exactly what I needed. They're really catering to me. And then you sit here and you realize real quickly when you're in the position, the reason why they gave you that and they told you is because they know the retention rate is bad. And so they kept you for 3 months. So then it helps their retention rate a little bit. And then they give you after 3 months that little $3,000. So then you feel good and you're like, you know what? I'll stay for about 6 months, maybe to a year, and then I'll see. And then they might sprinkle a little holiday bonus in there too to make you go, you know what? I think I'm gonna stay a little bit longer. And I'm saying this not as somebody who's just looking on the outside, but as somebody who, hold on, it's giving me the verification notice. I know it is. Yep, it gave me the verification notice. Okay. I'm saying this as somebody who was getting a compensation for staying in my position that I was in. They stopped giving me the bonus, and I skirted up out of it. That's all I got to say. I knew, and I said this to everybody. I said, as soon as they stop giving us this bonus, I'm gone. Because they were talking about how, oh, this is to help y'all during hard times because we know you're going through hard times. And when did the hard times stop? That was my thing. During that short amount of time, because I only worked there for 2 years, but this is after 2020, right? I started working there in 2021. When did the hard times stop? I want somebody to answer me. When did the hard times stop for everybody? Because that's why I said, that's how you know they didn't care. They had gotten a grant. And that's why I said that y'all aren't peeping what they say in these emails. All y'all see is the money. That's all y'all see is money. In the email, it even said that they got a grant sent to them, donated. So they were giving everybody a compensation out of that grant because they had extra money left over. We all got a little couple $1,000s thrown on our check for, I think, school year or something like that, every half of the year, whatever it was. I don't know exactly what it was. I don't remember. And so everybody's talking about like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and do that. They're talking about this is for the hard times. They know families are suffering right now and all this different stuff. So why did they stop giving us the incentive of the bonus? Aren't we still in hard times? I don't see prices going down. The only thing that's gone down is gas. And it loops itself right back around after a couple of months. So what has changed? Groceries still going up. Rent's still going up. So when have the hard times stopped? Like really, when have the hard times stopped? People still struggling with their health. The 2020 issue is still a problem, right? So when did the hard times stop? So that's why I said that you really have to key in on these way that they word these things, because just because it's not like a marketing thing where they throw it in your face like your Ozempic commercial where they're singing to you and all this different stuff and they make it cutesy. These companies are giving it to you in a different way because they still have a marketing team. They have an HR department for a reason. There is a reason why there's a human resource department, because you're a resource to the company and they know if you're not here, they're not going to make any money. But guess what? If you're not healthy and you're not here, you're not going to make them any money either. So that's the reason why they give you these little incentives of, if you walk so much, we give you a little bit of money, because that's what my job was doing. If you walked a certain amount of steps, they started giving you money for it. If you start to do this through their healthcare plan, you get money for it. Because they know if you're not healthy enough to be here, they can't make money. So when do you realize and really sit back and realize that you are the key to the money? You are the solution to your problem. So if you are not only suffering, but you're also not happy, if you're also sitting here dealing with different issues and diseases and that, which is not going to make you happy, obviously it's going to make you suffer, then the time for you to really hone in on taking care of yourself, starting to actually establish new habits, is 2025. You have to really change what you were doing, because like I said, that is a number 9 year. It's not gonna get any easier. It hasn't been getting any easier. They just keep throwing you these little breadcrumbs to make you feel like it's getting better. They keep throwing these little things at you to make you feel like things are changing. Even the comment about the schools and the lunches and things like that, they're not gonna change anything far as actually helping these kids get healthy food, because they still serve these children GMO fruits and vegetables and say that this is the healthy way for them to be able to get a full nutritional balanced lunch. But you're serving these kids GMO and non-organic fruits, non-organic vegetables. They don't care about you. They don't care about your household. So if you are ready to start eating away your diabetes, that cookbook is not going to be on sale tomorrow. It's on pre-sale right now. It's at its pre-sale price, but when it's released tomorrow, and you will get your book within an hour of you ordering it after when tomorrow hits. When I get everything set up, obviously I have to wake up tomorrow, but when I wake up tomorrow, you will get everything. It's a comprehensive guide into your plant-based nutrition to be able to combat insulin resistance and diabetes. It includes recipes. It helps you be able to start meal prepping and helping yourself. It gives you educational content as far as breaking it down, showing you how to eat a rainbow plate, giving you the science and the backing behind it, and understanding it in full entirety to empower your health journey and make you feel comfortable. You say you did your recipe? No. I do not consume any soy products, nor do I promote eating any soy products. And that I talk about it throughout my page if you want to check into more. But I don't consume soy because it throws off your estrogen. Men and women, it throws off your estrogen. There's no reason for us to be sitting here eating something that has its own estrogen. You were told not to eat pineapple while taking antibiotics. Is that that's all I was about to say. Pineapple is an antibiotic, so that's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. Because pineapple literally is an anti-parasitic. That's interesting. I've only been on antibiotics once in my life, and it was because I had a root canal. That's why I said that the whole system is a scam. Because after I had my root canal, I think 2 or 3 years later, I went to a new dentist, and my dentist told me that I didn't even need the root canal. It was an unnecessary surgery. So that's why when I say that they profit off of you, I mean it. Because they don't want you to eat your way into health. They want you to take their prescription, take their medication to make something else go on, make something else happen. And so if you are ready for that and you are looking for a help, before I close out, I will take any questions. If you were looking for help far as any pre-diabetic symptoms, insulin resistance, if you want to start learning how to eat plant-based, I do have 2 cookbooks. Like I said, I have the beginner guide cookbook that is going to show you basic meals that are going to be able to be prepped, easy for you to be able to support you, but also that Eating Away Diabetes which still has simple meals in it, but it's going to give you more comforting meals that allow you to be able to eat your way into health rather than having to starve and restrict yourself, but understanding how to support yourself and gathering all the nutrition that you need, and then also gathering the educational aspect. Oh my God, I told you were going to start acting up. The educational aspect of Eating Away Diabetes, literally how you can do it, what you've been doing to yourself, and really releasing that. So what questions do you guys have for me about transforming your health, living a plant-based lifestyle, getting away from diet culture? Thanks for all the follows. Thanks for the 6K likes. I really appreciate it, guys. I have to sneeze. I knew you were going to do that. I sneezed the other day and she licked me in my mouth while I was sneezing. I said that was the most vulnerable thing that you could have done. I was so vulnerable in that moment and you took advantage, and I hated it. She's so rude. She's just so rude. What questions do you guys have for me? I was just sneezing. So now I have to turn away. I have to watch myself. How can I make sure I'm eating enough protein? I don't even count my protein. How you make sure you're eating enough protein if you're trying to if you're talking about plant-based proteins, if you are trying to gain weight or maintain a weight, my recommendation for you is, because when you're eating plant-based, the thing about it is when you eat regular food, like when you eat meat, what's considered normal by our society, when you're eating meat and dairy, you don't focus on meat specifically. You're not focusing on, okay, meat, protein, I have to count this, it's giving me, okay, I have a chicken breast, it's going to give me this, all this different stuff. You're focusing on one source. When you're eating plant-based, you're focusing on a variety. That's how you get everything that you need as far as vitamins and minerals, proteins, healthy fats, all those different things. You have to focus on eating a variety. So it's not going to be necessarily just one plant-based protein source that you're focusing on. Okay, get away from me. Get down, go, bye. So, and I show this in my cookbook, that eating a variety is how you gain all the things that you need without having to sit here and calorie count, without you having to sit here and count how many proteins you get. And this dog, I swear, and all the different things that go along with when you are, I don't know. I mean, people count macros and all this different stuff. I used to use my fitness pal, all of that whole thing of calorie counting and doing all the different stuff never worked for me, nor did it feel comfortable for me. And so if you are a person who don't want to do that, you don't like doing that, that doesn't feel comfortable for you, that's how I get you into a space for me that felt natural, and for other people that feels natural, because it didn't happen for me that way. It did not work for me that way at all. I didn't like doing it. Because even my doctor recommended me to do my fitness pal during the time where I was like, oh, I just want to lose weight and all this different stuff. And she was telling me well, do you track what you eat? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay. And then when I tracked what I ate, it made me feel bad. There's just a whole bunch of different things that went down, when now I can eat because I'm hungry and not over consume a bunch of crap, but actually eat things that are filling, that are supporting myself. Because beforehand, I would eat a little bit, realize it wasn't the best thing, then I'd feel bad, and then guess what? I'm eating again because now I'm feeling emotional. Now I'm overeating because I'm feeling emotional. Now I'm doing all these different things, and then guess what? Tomorrow I'm doing? I'm restricting, and now I'm sitting here again the next day binge eating. Like, it was a full cycle of me not realizing that it was because my brain was literally feeling uncomfortable. I was making myself uncomfortable because I kept doing what everybody else was saying. This is the way that you be healthy. But now here I am, because beforehand, my weight couldn't get under 190s. I was all the way up to 220s. Here I am now. I haven't weighed myself in a while, but I'm going to say I'm probably like 170. The lowest I've been down to was like my most active, my summer weight, like me working out every day, doing all this different stuff, running. Like, I was running this summer and everything. I think I went down to 160. I want to say, I think that was my lowest weight this summer. And so it's like my goal for myself is to eventually lead myself to 150, but I'm not forcing it. I'm fine where I am. I'm okay with that. The only reason why I'm saying I'm 170 now is because I haven't weighed myself in a while, and I am not as active as I was. I can't even lie to you. I haven't walked all week, and I hate I haven't, but it's just been a whole lot going on. Getting this book out, and then like, I don't celebrate holidays, but like, like, it's just been a lot going on. Let me just say that. I'm not gonna get into my personal business, but it's been a lot going on. And I haven't been necessarily like neglecting myself, because I've been doing things in other ways to help myself and give myself that nurturing, but I haven't been on my I walk every single day type thing like I usually do. I usually walk 5 to 6 times a week. So it's like, that's why I said I haven't been doing what I usually do. And it didn't throw me off, honestly, because I realized that like, this is my time, because I do cycle sync and everything else, which I teach you in the program, but I do my activity during my cycle syncing. So this is the time where I'm really not going to be that active anyway. So usually this is my time for stretching. So I've been doing a lot of stretching and things like that. She said, you said you need to lose. He said you need to lose weight too. That will help you. That definitely will help you. I don't know what this is. Sit. Because you're doing too much. I don't know what time is it. It's 4 o'clock. That's the reason why she's acting like this. So, if you do you guys have any questions? If you don't have any more questions, I am going to hop off, because I might be I'm not gonna be outside. I'm not outside, but like, I'm gonna be outside. I'm gonna be out. I'm not outside, but I might be out today. So I had a friend invite me, so I might I'm debating if I'm gonna eat. I mean, it's already 4 o'clock. That's why I said, like, after that fast the other day, like, I'm not really too hungry. I've been doing really, really good. So did you cut out alcohol? Mainly, like, only celebration, like, only time, and it's like, only celebration that I really drink alcohol for is the Passover. Like, that's really it. And that's like, every now and then I might be like, you know what, like, I want a little bit of wine. Let me go get some wine. I don't drink regularly. I've never been a real heavy drinker at all, but like, I used to be like, oh, okay, well, I drink like a couple times a month, you know what I mean? Now it's probably 3, 4, 5 months that go by. Like, there are plenty of vegan wines and other different things, like wheat based like tequilas and different things like that. So that's why I said that, like, when you work with me, we accustom it to your life. I don't want you to have to take something out that is something that brings you joy, or something that because now there's a difference between brings you joy and you're abusing it. But if it brings you joy and it's not harming you, we can find alternatives if there's alternatives out there. I'm not saying you have to cut everything out in your life that you enjoy. We find replacements. And so that's what I focus on, and that's the reason why my program is so impactful, is because we find replacements. Because I would have never went to this lifestyle if I didn't find replacements, because I started eating plant-based foods first to realize that this is how easy it was. Like that's really what got me there. I had my first plant-based meal. I don't remember exactly what it was. I feel like it might have been a taco or something, and I was like, this is plant-based meat. Like, I think it was jackfruit. I really do. I think it was jackfruit. I had jackfruit for the first time, which it was like the jackfruit from Publix. It's in the frozen section. Like I said, this is my beginning of my journey. I had a plant-based taco with the jackfruit, and I was sitting there like, and people talk about plant-based foods? I was like, why are people complaining about this? Because I'm like, healthy food to me is me eating a salad, and I only want a salad when I'm craving it. I don't want a salad every single day. I want a salad when I'm craving it. That was my mindset, and that's a lot of people's mindset. Beforehand, I have to eat a salad. I don't want a salad. I don't want to eat a salad, but I have to eat salad, so I'm going to eat a salad for every single day. Let me tell you, this is not that. This is not that. This is not that. You found the link. Were you looking for it? I didn't see your comment. Did you say you were looking for it? If you did, I'm so sorry. This is not that. Health is outside of you restricting and cutting this off and cutting this out. Health is you realizing that you eating your brown sugar, your processed white sugar, your molasses is what's throwing you off if you want to bake and cook something sweet or something nice. Start using, if you want to sweeten something, start using honey, start using agave. Stop buying all that processed toxic sugar and start using something which you shouldn't use as often because it still will make you inflamed. But even just supplementing in cane sugar, which is a better alternative, it's not the healing, it's not the best, but it's the better alternative. It gets you to realize how you've been poisoning yourself. Because once you get to the space of alternative sugars, of actual natural sugars, and you realize that, like, this is why you have acne, this is why you're dealing with weight fluctuation, this is the reason why you have no mental balance, because you're sitting here in panic attacks, and because sugar literally throws off your brain. Sugar and Alzheimer's are directly connected. Sugar and Alzheimer's are directly connected. They talk about the fact that when you eat sugar, you lose your mind because it throws off your chemical balance and it stimulates your dopamine. It makes you act like literal a crackhead in your brain. Like, just like the little fiends walking downtown, all the little homeless people that are fiending. Think about that. It literally makes you act like them internally in your brain. This is the reason why not saying the person that was in here saying they crave sugar, but when you're craving sugar and you don't give yourself that sugar, what happens? Now you're mad. Now you're sitting here with an attitude. Now you're sitting here talking about how you have to have sugar. You have to have sugar. Oh, absolutely. 100% pure maple sugar, maple syrup. Yes. We do maple syrup. We don't do pancake syrup. We don't do none of that. All that. Maple syrup is a great sweetener, a natural sweetener. You would think, like, okay, that's weird. I put maple syrup in my sweet tea. Like, you cannot tell the difference of sweeteners. A sweetener is a sweetener. Like, that's why I'm like, people will sit there and they want to complain about natural things, normal natural things, but you haven't even tried it. But you know what you have tried? You've tried the wrap snacks. You've tried all the hot Cheeto flavors. You know every single Swedish fish, every single Sour Patch. You've tried all the Oreo types. You've tried every single cereal out there. Somebody tells you it's a good plant-based dish and you're looking at them and you're like, somebody tells you there's natural sugar and you're like, okay, but what is it? How do you get that? What is an agave? Okay. Keep making that face. Because like I said, 2025, y'all ain't about to stress me out. You get that face with me, I'm just going to say, you know what? Don't even worry about it. That's my response. You know what? Don't even worry about it. You're good. You're right. Keep that. What other questions do you guys have for me? Did I miss any? Because we were talking today, y'all. This is the last live of the year. This is the last live of the year, guys. Thanks for the follows. I really appreciate it. If you have not followed me on my other socials, subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. I did start my Lemon8 account today, so you can follow me on there just in case they take TikTok. I'm hoping that they don't. If they do take it and they don't ban it completely, I will be using a VPN. they can quit playing with me. They can quit playing with me. I will be using a VPN because I done built this platform, okay? This is my platform. Not forget people making anything candy like Popeye's chicken and things like that. I really wish. I wish I didn't find out that information today. Candy chicken? What you mean? What are they candying? Chicken? Because I used to love me a good candy apple, but that was the only way. And that's so funny, too, because that was the only way that I would eat an apple as a child was if it was candy or caramel. And I barely even liked the caramel, but if it was candy, I'd eat it. I'd eat it. I didn't have many cavities as a child, but as I started, she's getting mad at me. I think somebody's home, and that's the reason why she's like, let me out. But as I started to grow up, and like I said, I had my first root canal, I realized very quickly that, like, if I want to take care of my teeth and actually replenish them, I have to start learning how to, because they're lying to me. Because once the dentist told me in my face, it said that I don't think you needed to have a root canal. It looks like all of your nerve endings are still, like, he even told me, and I'm sitting there like with my mouth open going, what? He said all of my nerve endings were still there under And that's the part that you're supposed to scrape out when you have a cavity and you get a root canal, because that's how you get an infection in X, Y, and Z when you have a cavity, right? I knew I had a cavity because I was in pain. But what clued him into it wasn't that deep, was because he was like, they didn't even take out all your nerve endings. He was like, and not only that, are they growing, they're growing back. Let me say it one more time. He said, not only did they not take out all the nerve endings, but they're growing back. It says the link is no longer available for the beginner book. It should be. Did you click it twice? Sometimes you have to click it twice. Sometimes you gotta click it twice. Hold on, let me go check and make sure. Because sometimes it used to do that. Let me make sure. But yeah, if you didn't peep what I just said, I'm gonna say it one more time. He told me out of his mouth my nerve ending was growing back. Yeah, I just put it in. You might click it one more time. Try it one more time. I've had people, I've had people come to me and say that it didn't work and they were watching my live. Oh, I said, try clicking it one more time. Because usually they come back and they're like, oh, it worked. So sometimes you just got to click it twice. And if it's not working, I will send you the direct link if that's what you, if that's the one that you want the beginner guide, of course, I'll send you the direct link. But, let me see, did I miss any questions? I cannot believe she said candy chicken. That's really crazy to me. That's crazy. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Any more questions before I hop off? And for anybody that is in here that you have been with me all year long, thank you for one. To anybody that's in here, I say please have a blessed, safe night. If you are going to be out, even in your home, still be safe. But if you're going to be out, be safe, be smart. If you are eating things, be smart. If you are spending time with family or anything like that, give them your best wishes. Show them my content. If they're suffering from any illnesses or diseases, help them out. If you know anybody that's suffering from diabetes and you know that will benefit from that cookbook, let them know it's on pre-sale and tomorrow won't be that price. But let them know that, hey, there's something for you to be able to get off of your insulin. You don't have to start getting off your insulin today, because people start freaking out when you talk about getting off their medications. But let them know there's a way for you to be able to, and it's natural. Show them my stuff. I promise you, like, they will see the life-changing information inside of that ebook, because it's literally eating away diabetes and breaking down how you do it. So there is no reason for people to have to sit here in this millions, literally 38 million people dealing with the same issue. There's no reason. You are so, so welcome. I am so appreciative. I'm so happy of like the growth that we've gotten over this year. I think in March of this year, I was able to go live here. And you guys commenting, liking, sending gifts, which I don't even get a lot of gifts and I don't ask for gifts, but it just helps me grow. And then also it's a positive reinforcement, obviously, just to keep going and doing what I'm doing, because the Most High gave me healing during the time of learning in 2020 all the way up until I went plant-based. And then now here I am 4 years into the lifestyle, and he allowed me to be able to see how my body literally can change by using the fruits and the vegetables from the earth to heal myself. And so from that space, he allowed me to realize that, like, this is a gift. Like, this isn't something just for you to take and to keep and to share it with a bunch of people that don't care nor do want to change, but share it with the people on this platform, share it with people that actually need change and that want change and need help. Because his people are suffering and crying out right now, and they don't realize that we have gotten so far away from the foundation that our body is literally designed to heal. And so I'm not a saint, I'm not perfect, I'm one of his saints, but I'm not a perfect saint here. But what I'm saying is that I was given the option to be able to heal myself, and so now here I am spreading that healing, because there's no reason for me to hoard the information that I have, because why? I'm not a gatekeeper. I give you even if you DM me to let me know you have something going on and you need help with something, I help people. Like, people leave comments down below on my videos and I tell them, this is what you need to do. DM me if you need more information. I give plenty of free help. So it's not like I'm here for a money grab, but I do charge for the services if you want me to sit here and walk you through it. Because at the end of the day, you have plenty of free content. You have plenty of free. So if you want anything else out of that, that's a disservice to myself, because I do all this work. I do all this research and the education that I give for myself. Because that's the same way. You don't go to school and then expect your teacher to sit there in front of you and teach you for hours on end for free. You pay them. Regardless if you go to school for free or not, somebody's paying them. And so I sit here for hours and do my research. I sit for hours and craft up these cute, because I love my ebooks, these cute ebooks, first of all, and then craft up master classes and do things for one-on-one sessions beforehand and after. So yeah, it's gonna cost you, because I do a lot of work. And then you'll see why, when you work with me, why it costs money, because you see the effort put in, you see how it changes, you see the healing transformation, and you see how the Most High has guided me through this by the things that I put, the things that I give, the intuitive information that is added into this Eating Away Diabetes book alone. Because that beginner guide is just simplified. It's easy. It's maybe for you to be able, anybody to pick it up, an expert, beginner level, and be able to have recipes and inspo. But this Eating Away Diabetes cookbook is life-changing, like completely life-changing. So I'm not seeing any more questions, so I am going to hop off of here, figure out what I'm going to grub on, because I have not eaten. My stomach isn't too growly, but it's kind of feeling that way. But I hope you all have an amazing rest of your night. I got on so late. I was gonna do 2 lives today, but I didn't get on earlier. So the second live is not gonna happen today, I don't think. Maybe I might pop in late just to say a little hello or whatever. But besides that, stop. I know you want to get out. Give me a second. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you. And I will see you, if the Most High allows it, in the next year. Have a great night. Peace, y'all.